Everything I've done to support our family seems like a huge mistake, and I want out of my marriage because of how easy my wife's life is compared to mine, but I know it's all my fault because I'm the one who changed and not her. My wife Sarah, 30F, and I, 35M, have been married for 7 years and we have been together for a total of 10 years. I was raised in a very traditional and religious household and was brought up believing that men are the breadwinners and women should stay at home with the kids. Sarah was raised in an equally religious household and had similar views as I did. After college, I got a job doing financial work for a large company and moved to a different city. I didn't know anyone in the area and decided that attending one of the local churches would help me meet new people. Sarah was one of the church members and I fell head over heels for her. She is one of the most beautiful women I have ever laid eyes on and she is also extremely kind and caring. After a year of dating, I proposed to her and we were married after a 2-year engagement. After the wedding, Sarah finished her degree and started talking about having children. I asked her to wait a few years until I started earning enough money and she agreed. Kids went on the back burner for a while and Sarah dedicated herself to creating a home for us while I went to work. A few years passed and I finally got the promotion at work. Sarah was ecstatic and we both agreed that we could have the baby. Sarah and I tried for only 2 months before she became pregnant. She was thrilled, but my happiness was mixed with a bit of apprehension and nervousness. I didn't know if I could handle taking care of another human and it was scary. I decided to suck it up and put on the brave face for Sarah's sake. Our son was born and Sarah devoted herself to caring for him. Because I had been promoted, I started spending less and less time at home. The job was demanding and I was working 70-plus-hour weeks. I had to wake up earlier and earlier while Sarah stayed in bed and slept. When I came home, Sarah always looked relaxed and happy, playing with the baby. I know that I was being irrationally jealous, but I started to resent Sarah. Taking care of the baby seemed so much easier than my job and I hated how all of the financial responsibility fell back on me. It has been 2 years since I started feeling this resentment and I started going to a therapist, but it's not helping. I hate coming home every day and trying to speak with Sarah. She has never had a job and does not understand how stressed I am from working. It's like I am speaking to a child whenever I try to discuss anything like finances or any topic more in depth than what is taught in high school. I don't want to be married to someone who doesn't feel like my equal. I know that this isn't Sarah's fault, but I feel like I am trapped and I just want out. Commenter. Okay, first of all, someone has to say it, you're a dumb bot for not examining your views. 35 fudging years my man, not once have you seriously examined your beliefs. Can't blame this one on mom and dad. You started resenting your wife because all of the financial responsibility fell back on you? Well, guess what, it didn't fall back on you, you deliberately took it on and as soon as it started going to trash, instead of taking ownership and steps to fix it, you just blamed your wife. Besides, she doesn't feel like you're equal not because your requirements changed but because you started undermining her in your head. I find it very difficult to believe that all of a sudden, having a stimulating conversation about current news with your wife has become so much more important to you than it has ever been. Commenter 2. Maybe your wife is stressed and unhappy sometimes too but she puts on a brave face because you are stressed and she doesn't want to add to that. Commenter 3. First of all, taking care of a kid is no walk in the park. Once they start moving around, they're basically looking for new and creative ways to off themselves constantly. Yes, your job is demanding, but she isn't laying on the couch with the kid watching soap operas all day. Now that that's out of the way, what does your therapist say to all of this? You say that it's not helping, but what exactly is being suggested to you? I'm guessing that you haven't communicated much of your feelings to your wife, so that would be my suggestion of where to start. You could also discuss what she wants to do when the kid is old enough to go to school. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, but once I was in school, she got some part-time jobs, joined the PTA, and volunteered all over the place. I feel that it really helped her establish herself and make her feel good. Lastly, I think you need to start dating your wife again. Get a sitter and go out, just the two of you. It could be that you just don't see her as her own person anymore and just as a mom, losing her individuality in your eyes. Update. I made this post a few weeks ago about the resentment I started to feel towards my wife after I had been promoted at work. I just want to say thank you all for the advice and I have a very happy update for you all. I took a week to think about the post and my own feelings. I talked it out in therapy and I came to the conclusion that I could not keep working 70 hours a week. It was destroying my relationship with my wife and son and it was also destroying my happiness. I spoke to my boss and he was very understanding and told me that there was enough in the budget to hire an assistant for me. My assistant started 2 weeks ago and my workload has been dramatically reduced. I have been able to work a normal 40-hour work week and I am now finally coming home before 6 p.m. each weekday. I spoke with my best friend about my wife and he knocked some sense into me. He told me how jealous he and the rest of our friends were over my wife and how lucky I was to be with a woman who is supermodel attractive, yet driven and kind and compassionate like my wife. Later that night, I drank a bottle of scotch and got sloppy drunk. My wife found me puking in the bathroom and in my drunken haze I confessed to her everything I was holding back. I told her about how I felt left out because I wasn't around for our son, how I didn't feel connected to her like I wanted to be, the whole 9 yards. She held me and let me cry it out and she told me that she loved me. The wife and I are headed to couples counseling, but we also signed up for cooking classes to build a common hobby. She says that she will stay by me as long as I stay by her, no matter what happens. I love her and she loves me and I think we are going to be okay. One last detail that I can't think to put anywhere else, all three of us are taking a month-long vacation after Christmas in order to have family bonding time. Wife and I both agree that we need this vacation. Commenter. Good for you. Now keep it up. Don't do the stoic, suffer in silence type. Trust your wife to listen to and care about your problems. A stay-at-home mom can still be educated and sophisticated. Encourage her to grow intellectually with you.